Hi, boys and girls.
We're in a garage and test facility. Let's see what we're rolling out today. A 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLE. I think this is the 53 model, as well as AMG. Confirmed on the right, and confirm on the left. 429 horsepower and 384 pounds-feet of torque. I got the first one off the assembly line, so there's no fuel economy rating on the paperwork. But that can save us some guessing. Been in the warehouse inventory for 1,607 miles, averaging 17.4 mpg. If it was averaging 17 miles per hour, that means it was almost all city driving. So I would say it's a rather impressive figure. We'll be putting on some more miles later on. Maybe get some highway MPG readings. And since we're looking at the paperwork, here's where it's made. Alabama. Yeehaw. Sounds German to me. Here's the starting price, but of course Mercedes is not going to let you off the hook with this. $1,080 for the metallic red paint, $4,550 for the black leather interior in here, and we have a whole bunch of other options. More and more and more and more. Whoa! If you want to see what those options were, I'll scan down real quick. Lots and lots of stuff we don't really need, but always end up getting anyway, if you want to drive in style. If you like Mercedes SUVs but want more horsepower, we tested the GLE 63. Over 600 horsepower, but you got to pay 133 grand for that. We'll have a link for that video at the end of this video. Or if the maximum horsepower is your thing, we tested the 2021 Dodge Durango Hellcat SRT. 710 horsepower, 95 grand, and it's all yours. We'll have a link for that video at the end of this video as well, so you're getting 3 videos to watch. Unlike other YouTube testers, there's 2 things I want to check in when I get a vehicle. Number 1, did we get a spare tire? You'd be surprised the number of vehicles that do not come with one. Not very good on an SUV that's supposed to be taken off-road. Yep. Typical German engineering. We'll take an engineering degree to get it out and inflate it, but at least you have one. And again, unlike other vehicle testers, we actually take the car out in the dark to see what the headlights do, which is important because I think we all drive in the dark, right? So, let's do that right now. Alright, let's see how these headlights do. No, it's not actually the car. It's what you see on the instrument cluster. Fooled you, didn't I? As you can see, the entire cabin lights up pretty good in the dark. You can also change the color of the cabin by running your finger on this dial here. Right now we have red outlines. I can press it and get blue, green, hey, you're getting something for your money here, right? And here's what the reverse camera looks like in the dark, among other angles. Nice picture, pretty good quality. Okay, now we'll get to the real headlights. And by the way, the AMG emblem lights up when you open the door. To impress who, I don't know. All you will see it. Here we have the headlights on the building 100 feet away. Extremely bright. Very impressive. High beams. Very impressive. And the heads-up display is very bright. I don't like looking at that. I want to find a way to turn it off. We'll do that later. Here we have the brights on the building 300 feet away. Excellent light, good white spread, go to low beam. As you can see, the heads-up display is always there. If you love the heads-up display, you'll like this one. The GLE comes in two body styles. One is a true SUV with lots of storage in the rear. The other is what they call the Coupe, which is what we have here. Basically, it's a compact car body on top with all the SUV underpinnings on the bottom, which technically doesn't make any sense, but that's what some people want, and that's what we get. Style over function, I suppose. You'll notice a difference as soon as you try to get in the vehicle, because this is my eye level right now, and your head is going to have to take a big dip to get in here. It's pretty cramped back here. If you're over 6 feet tall, it might be an issue. And it's not much better if you're crawling in the front. Again, eye level. Get your head in. So once you crawl into this compact space capsule, you need to learn the controls. And if you don't know what you're doing, it's very complicated. But my advice is forget about reading the owner's manual. Take a nice afternoon when you're not doing anything. Push every button 100 times, and you'll get the hang of it. I'm not going to cover everything. The video will be way too long, but here are some tips. You have a nice infotainment screen here if you want to make it work. It's all about touching. No, you'll never find the right button. You just run your finger on here. That's the secret. Like so. If you don't know this, you can spend a whole day trying to figure it out. Same thing with this little device on the steering wheel. Pushing the button won't do much. It's a reset. Again, finger. Like so. There are some buttons and switches that can be pushed directly though. The dynamic switch here gives you slippery, individual, comfort, sport, or sport plus mode. Pardon the glare on the info screen, but it's pretty bright out today. If you want it custom mode, this controls the exhaust noise, the suspension settings, ride height. I forget what these two do. I'll look it up later. Don't want this video to be too long. And the quality of this camera in the daytime is excellent. Very nice pictures. I think we did this in the dark already, didn't we? If not, we will. If you want to shift for yourself, we need paddle shifters. And we need them on the steering wheel where they can be reached whether you're going straight or in corners. Not on the steering column like the Italians in Nissan do, where they can only be reached going in a straight line. They belong here. Thank you for Mercedes for getting it right. Alright, the first half of the video show and tell is over. Second half of the video, we're going to do driving. It is what we're here for, right? By the way, if you're looking for the shifter, it's on the steering column here. Reverse for up, drive for down. Back in the old days, 1960s and 70s, Mercedes power steering was great, and then the 80s and 90s, it really sucked. No feel or feedback, and now they're back on track again. Good feel, decent feedback. Not the best they've ever done, but no gripes from me. Let's put this in the Sport Plus mode and see how it does in the turning circle. Do get a bit of body lean, but this is doing pretty good for a sport utility vehicle that rides high off the ground. Excellent all-wheel drive system. I'm impressed thus far. As we do in all of our tests, we're going to take some mild speed humps around 20 miles per hour to see how the suspension performs on impact, and I do have everything in the comfort mode. Bump number 1. Those big, giant tires, I felt that, but the suspension did a pretty good job of absorbing the impact. Number 2. These are big tires, by the way. Number 3. And the nasty one coming up. Not too bad. I forgot to mention with the AMG you do get these large 21-inch wheels with 315 slot 40-ZR21 tires. These are big babies. Let's put it in the sport mode and do a 0 to 60 run. Go! By the way, this has a start-stop system that turns off the engine when you come to a stoplight to save fuel, comes back on when you hit the gas, and ordinarily I hate those things, but this one's pretty smooth. In fact, I didn't even know it was operating until I looked at the tachometer and saw it was on 0. There is a switch to turn this off, by the way, if you don't like the system. But frankly, I don't even notice it's working, so I haven't done so. Which goes to show how smooth this engine is. Mercedes did a great job. We're going to take a highway trip, and I'm letting you know in advance we're climbing an elevation from 1,200 feet to around 4,000 feet, which means going uphill, so our fuel economy will not be the best. If I get 20 mpg, I'll be surprised, but we'll find out soon enough. I'm really surprised how quiet this vehicle is on freeway speeds. I don't hear any wind noise at all. I don't even hear the engine running. A very solid, comfortable vehicle. In fact, this is such a smooth riding vehicle, you need to keep your eye on the speedometer because you think you're doing 70, 75, you look down, you're doing 90, 95, and you have to go, whoa, time to slow down. And every now and then I get an email from somebody saying, what do you mean there's no wind noise in the vehicle? I hear it, but see, the reason you hear it is because I'm using a cheap camera with a cheap microphone, and it picks up strange sounds it really shouldn't. Trust me, it's very, very quiet in here. And I just noticed the heads-up display turned itself on for some reason. I might have to pull over and turn it off. Why did it do that? Well, there's our fuel economy going uphill. We get a chance, we'll do a video going downhill and see how it works then. We're going to take a return trip going mainly downhill. I'm sure the fuel economy will be better this time. Going uphill, we got 20.6 on the return trip. Going downhill, 25.0. That means the level ground, you should see around 23 mpg. We're going to get off the freeway and do some back road cruising in the mud and sand and bumpy trails. See if we can get any rattles to generate in the body here, but I doubt it. This is a pretty solid structure on this Mercedes vehicle. And let's see, we have sand and trail. Let's put it on trail. I see snow. Hope there's more. I'm trying to get to my ranch, but if this Jeep wasn't blocking the way, I could have been there by now. Slowpoke Jeep Wranglers. Not a real off-roader like this Mercedes. I'm going to get some hate mail in the comments section after saying that. I'm waiting for it. We got some nasty rocks out here. That's why we have the button to raise the suspension, I guess. Which I did. And this camera system's handy to have when you're going off-roading. You see everything around you. Beside you on the left, the right, and back. From the top. You get the idea. So the first thing I was asked, you're going to take a $95,000 Mercedes out off-roading, are you? And yes, we did, and it did pretty good in the mud as well. Nice, gooey, sticky mud. We're going to drive back to town and wrap up this video. Make sure you tune in next week. We have a real surprise. We're going to test drive this 1977 Chevy Monza. Of course, it needs a little bit of engine work, but hey, the headlights work. And it has a battery. Good grief, what are you? Some strange creature roaming around here. The size of a horse. He's gonna eat me. What are you? Some kind of monster? You got a girlfriend, I see. I'm gonna get out of here. They're at me for dinner. Think about YouTube. So what's my take on this Mercedes-Benz GLE 53 AMG? I'm very impressed. This is a very fine vehicle. Very solid build. Great performance. I really don't have any complaints. And yes, I will admit the learning curve to figure out all the controls and switches in the cabin can be aggravating for the first day or two, but once you have everything figured out, really not an issue at all. So here's some video links of other high-end SUVs we've tested. Just click and watch.